What is good, Vape fam? This is Joe of All Vapes coming at you with another awesome box mod review. It is box mod time. I've got so many of these to go through and I'm loving every single minute of it. So as you guys are aware of, there's a ton of custom box modders out on the e-juice market right now. And, it's really, really awesome that there are so many different kinds of variations and sizes and whatnot that we can really enjoy to the depth that we enjoy doing them. Pretty much every kind of shape, size, model, and chipset to satisfy whatever extending taste that we have, you know what I'm saying, as far as creativity is concerned. And one company in particular creates a really, really badass box mod, custom made for your pleasure, and that is Fat Cat Modz. Now, Heather of Fat Cat Modz is actually a husband and wife company, makes these custom awesome PWM mods for your pleasure. Now, if you've never tested out a PWM, you guys seriously don't know what you're missing, man. It is like vaping on an Indy 500 racer in your hand. You know what I'm saying? Massive, massive power in this little guy. Now, it is variable voltage. As you can see, you got the pot, the potentiometer on the side, so you can adjust this bad boy all the way up to 8.4 volts. Now, this is a series build, and the cool thing about this is that it comes with two different covers once you buy this bad boy. Now, it is an aluminum casing. Now, it is an unconventional aluminum casing that these things come with. I got it in the bright Joe of All Vapes green, you know what I'm saying, because it really symbolizes my flavor. And you get two different lids that come with this one. So you get a clear plastic lid, and I got it cool in this really cool neon greenish yellow color. And then, of course, you get the aluminum case lid that comes with it, with a little finger hole on the side so you can stick your fingernail in there and take this bad boy off. Now, as you can see, the build on the inside is very, very clean. Exposed wires, but everything is perfectly flush and within the box. So you're not going to get anything messing up around in here. And as you can see, it is a series build, which I'll show you once I pop these bad boys off. Okay, so the series, for those of you that are not familiar, is pretty much like the old school, battery setup on remote controls when we were kids. One positive going up and one positive going down. So that is pretty paramount. You make sure and keep that steady. Now, a PWM basically is nothing more than a chipset that regulates the power of the device. Now, just because you can control the voltage on the side of the device does not mean this is regulated. This is still classified as an unregulated mod. So we're talking about massive amounts of power. Now, at top wattage output, we're talking about anywhere between 250 and possibly even past that point. But for warranty purposes, 250 watts is what this thing is ranged at. So what is that telling me? What is that telling you? First of all, you've got a tremendous amount of power to play with on this guy. So definitely know the coils that you're using. The coil that I'm using in my Aspire Mega right now, I believe goes up to a total of about 100 watts. And that is really, really slick on this one. It creates just a ton of nice, warm, massive, thick vapor. Comes with a voltmeter on the inside. So the voltmeter on this guy is actually going to be telling you what the current battery charge of the batteries are, with one button right underneath the voltmeter that you can shut on or off. Little tiny button, makes it really, really super convenient. And again, it's totally flush with the box. And I'm going to go ahead and insert the batteries and just kind of show you what I'm talking about here. So with the batteries in, and I'm actually going to take off my big old fat Aspire Mega, you're going to get a solid reading of whatever the current charge of the batteries are. So I'm reading about 6.6. Now, it says that the current battery drain of a really great battery is going to be topping off a little bit over 7 volts. So really a top out of 8.4, right? And in the information that you're going to get with one of these boxes, it'll say that a dead battery is around 7.4, but have no fear, even though it's reading about 6.6, 6.7, something like that. I have been using these batteries a little bit, but they were fully charged when I put these guys in this morning. So I've been kind of vaping on it a little bit left and right. Now, you're going to get an on-off master switch right on the bottom. Very good size switch. You can kind of see it right there. Let me get the light. There you go. It's a pretty decent sized switch, so you don't have to get, you know, a little pin or your tiny screwdriver or something from your build kit and kind of wedge it in there to turn it on and off. Now you can switch the voltmeter off, like I said, and you're just going to hit it and you're basically going to get nothing but vapor. I like to keep it on just because I do, and the volt drainage is really not going to be that high keeping the thing off, you know what I'm saying? So once again, let's check out the build. Now, I've said before on some of the box mod reviews that I've done that I don't really much care for a ton of wires just hanging out and chilling. You know, that the one exception to that is if the box is made of really, really high quality, basically from somebody that knows what the heck they're doing. I don't care if a box looks really, really ultra sleek and ultra professional and ultra awesome. If you take the battery cover off and, you know, it just looks like an absolute hot mess. You know, what am I going to do with the thing? You know what I'm saying? It just shows a lack of professional quality behind the box that is being made. But Heather over at Fat Cat Modz really does go out of her way to make sure that everything is shrink wrapped, fitting very, very nicely, and the build on this thing is really, really high quality. And trust me, I've been in contact with this girl since last year. She definitely knows what she's talking about. She does really, really excellent work on these mods. The one great thing, obviously, the 250 watt output. I mean, man, that is massive. You know what I'm saying? And case in point, I'm just going to put on the clear lid on this bad boy, and I'm going to show you what the output is. Now, I have the potentiometer set in between 50 to 100, around 75, that area right there. So I'm getting the bulk of the amount of voltage going into this bad boy. Check this out. Now, I must not have that big of a lung capacity, but man, the amount of power coming out of this box going into this coil is absolutely insane. Now, if you counted maybe about 3 to 4 seconds worth of a drag. Now, of course, this is a huge maximum capacity 10 milliliter tank with a pretty large drip tip. So yeah, I am getting a lot of vapor going on in there, and I've got it on the biggest air opening that you're getting. So I've got the maximum amount of air intake going into the tank. But of course, everything can be adjustable. And I have tried this with multiple other tanks as well as personal builds. Now, this thing is tested at 0.28 ohms, just basically to find kind of that very fine line, that bridge between safety and warranty standards. You know what I'm saying? So it is highly suggested you definitely use Ohm's law when you're building your own coil. And even if you're just interested, any two figures basically out of 4, whether voltage, amps, power, wattage, other words, or ohms, and you basically just put in 2 figures out of those, click on the calculate button, and you're going to get all the figures of everything else. So if you're building your own coil, it is really, really super important that you keep everything within safety standards, especially on an unregulated box this powerful. And this is definitely the most powerful box I have ever owned. It is a really, really awesome box. Very, very clean. You know, I can't say enough about this box. Just the quality craftsmanship, the simplicity in the design. One thing too is the fire button is one of those itty bitty little pin tipped, almost a ball, you know, the ball off of a ballpoint pen, you know, kind of size, just a little bit bigger than that. Typically, I like the flush-mounted wider buttons, but the one good thing I will say about this is it has a very, very solid spring on the retractor button, which allows that if you stick it in your pocket, even if you forget to turn the device off, you're not going to accidentally press this down and short anything out, so you don't have to worry about that. I mean, you're definitely going to know once you start feeling your pocket get hot. Now, on a good set of batteries, you've got about 30 amps max to be able to play with, and once again, play with Ohm's law to kind of be able to figure out the math according to that. And incidentally, I'm going to put a link to an Ohm's law, great Ohm's law calculator, very simple to use, in the description below, so all you guys can kind of check into this stuff for yourself. And there is a slew of information that you're going to get with one of these boxes. I mean, this is probably like a half page right here. And, you know, this isn't cumbersome to realize, because when you're getting something this professional, it really, really is important that you know the ins and outs and the thick and thins of having something this powerful in hand. So I'm just going to read off a few of the ins and outs and thick and thins of some of this stuff. Total battery charge can be measured on this device with atomizer off of the device. Like I already said, all you have to do is take the tank or whatever build that you're using, unscrew it, push the button down, and you're going to get what the voltmeter is going to tell you what the current charge of the batteries are. So a full charge on the unit is 8.4 volts. Like I said, dead battery is around 7 volts, but that's figuratively speaking, in my opinion. The device is variable voltage, and the voltage range is anywhere between 0 to 8.4, as I have said. Basic, really now and then this is basic stuff that most of you guys out there should know, especially if you're looking into owning your own custom-made box mod. Like I said, there's so many of these guys out on the market that really, really do go out of their way to try and offer you something that is variety enough, but is really up their alley in terms of expertise. Some mod manufacturers you're going to find are going to offer you, many different designs between PWM to the LiPo battery sets, series, parallel, OKLs, OKRs, T20s, T10s, all kinds of different builds and stuff like that. Really do a lot of your research and discover what it is that an individual's expertise is. Just because a box looks very, very simple in its structure does not mean it's not a good box. I've tried a lot of awesome boxes that really, really looked like, somebody did it, just on the side for the hell of it and decided, hey, I want to make a few bucks, you know what I'm saying? But then again, every now and then a company comes along and comes out with a box this high quality from somebody that literally knows what they're doing. And, let me tell you, as far as nerds go, Heather is a big-time nerd when it comes to making quality boxes, and I know she's going to find that as a compliment because she's really awesome, really down to earth, and definitely knows what she's talking about. This girl has given me more information than I ever thought of asking. And it's because somebody finds a lot of passion in what they do, and you're really lucky to be able to hook up with individuals like that are that interested in making a good quality product and giving you a really, really good value at what you're buying. Now, these things retail for about 135 bucks, but you know that I'm always going to have something solid working for you guys. So here's the deal. This is the Joe of all vapes personal discount. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go onto Fat Cat Modz on Instagram. You're going to get a hold of Heather. You're going to DM her and you're going to say, hey, I want one of these badass PWMs that Joe of all vapes showed me. And he said, drop his name, Joe of all vapes, and you're going to cut 35 bucks off of this box for me. That's all it takes, right? It always pays off to watch a Joe of all vapes review, and I'm always going to make sure that you guys get the skinny on some of the best products out on the market, and even some of the lesser known ones, you know what I'm saying? I dig them out of the ground just for our pleasure. So here's, like I said, what you're going to do is DM Heather over at Fat Cat Modz. Tell her that you're interested in a PWM, typical retail value, 135 bucks, but there's a limit. So maximum output of 10 boxes to a minimum of 5. And that's only going to go for a certain amount of time. So once that 10 box order has come through to her out of your interest and you seriously want to buy this, that's it. That's the cap off for the discount. So you got to make sure that you mention the Joe of all vapes discount will knock you 35 bucks off one of these awesome 250 watt capacity PWM unregulated box mods. Can't say enough awesome about this mod. I've had it for quite some time, and I've really been rolling it around. Man, I've taken this thing around the block more times than you can imagine. Like I said, I've tried it on my Triton tank. I've tried it on my Heracles sub-ohm by Sense. I've got a Horizon Arctic tank, a 0.2 ohm, and my Vengeance sub-ohm tank by the Council of Vapor. Plus, I put at least 4 to 5 different builds on this bad boy. And man, let me tell you, it just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. Now, it is a series build, so realize that you're going to have a faster battery drop than you would were it a parallel. But with a series build, you're going to get a massive chunk of power from the initial hit on the fire button. What I like to do is I'll just put on the magnetized case cover right there, and then I'll take my clear little neoprene plastic cover and just stick that on the side. I've got the sparkly green going on, but man, that just kind of gives it a really cool sheen, you know what I'm saying? I may have gotten it up to 1.5 seconds longer on that one. Man, warm and flavorful to the max. If you've got a tank that you know, makes the juice taste pretty good, but it always comes out kind of cold. Worry not with this bad boy, man. I'm telling you, this will fire you to oblivion and no more force vapes. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you have a vape that you're not going to much care for, guarantee it, finish that bottle off within half the time with something that works this powerful and burns the juice up this clean and warm. So here is your PWM unregulated box mod by Fat Cat Modz. Really, really high quality mod. I really highly suggest this company. Like I said, $135 retail, but you can get it right now by mentioning Joe of All Vapes when you DM Heather at Fat Cat Modz and mention Joe of All Vapes. The discount, you will knock off 35 bucks and get one of these bad boys for yourself. Multiple range of colors, and I believe you might be able to get these in parallel as well. I'm not 100% sure. Definitely DM Heather over at Fat Cat Modz and ask her for yourself. It's a hell of a deal, and I absolutely give the seal of approval of Joe of All Vapes 2 thumbs up for Fat Cat Modz. So Heather, really, really super ultra appreciate you sticking with it and having patience in allowing me to try this out in its full capacity and review it here on Joe of All Vapes. So what I want you guys to do now, drop everything you're doing after the review and go into Fat Cat Modz on Instagram. Definitely check out all the pictures that she has and all the designs. She's very, very innovative and has some really, really cool, fun pictures to check out. Contact her, tell her you want one of these mods, get as much information as possible, and start saving that vape cash. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it was just tax time, and I know it's rolling around in your pocket. Don't waste all of it till you get one of these big-ass fat boys, and I guarantee you will not regret it. Oh, man. Let me tell you. Vapes for days, vape for days. So I really appreciate you guys watching another one of my reviews. If you dig it, stay tuned because I've got more great stuff coming on. I've got another mod review coming up pretty soon. And of course, my typical e-juice reviews. Tons and tons of stuff going on into the end of the year. I've got some great giveaways. I just hit 10,000 followers on Instagram. It literally still blows my mind. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I did to stick so many of you people around for as long as you have, but I really, really, truly appreciate your support. It means the most to me, and I really want to give back, so I've got my 10,000 follower giveaway going on pretty soon. I'm still compiling everything. I've got a ton of stuff that I want to give away, and just a little bit of a sneak hint. You're going to get everything you need in this giveaway to vape for days, whether you want to build or not. And trust me, I've got some awesome stuff going on to this giveaway, and I've got some of my awesome sponsors as well are contributing some of their products into this giveaway just for your pleasure as well. Plus, I've also got my typical monthly giveaway on top of that, and a very, very special giveaway going on with my awesome friends over at the Pie Guys E-Juice out in California. So the month of May 2016 is really, really going to be probably my biggest month of the entire year, and I'm really looking forward to that. So the last thing I want to leave you guys with is love yourselves, love each other. Definitely keep the advocacy alive. Sign those petitions, folks. We want to keep doing what we enjoy doing, you know what I'm saying? Hitting up those conventions and vaping on some awesome mods and some of the best e-juice out on the market. So no matter what happens, you guys keep it cloudy.